Hi guys, Nesty here. Welcome back to another video. Today is Monday and for the server started the server versus server events. So let's take a look into them. Overall you can imagine it like the name already suggests. It's an inter-server event where your server is participating in different kinds of events against a different server. Let's take a look into it. Here we have the event, and on the small I for information you can always check what are the events at the moment and which are the ones that will come afterwards. It's always a set schedule, so if you once get used to it, you know on which day which event will be. So today we have the Antil development, so it's pretty simple, you just have to build stuff. On the second day it's gathering resources. Third day it's improving your evolution. Fourth day is everything that has to do with basically strengthening your special ends. Fifth day on the Friday it's basically only hatching soldiers. On the sixth day you can choose from the former ones. We will go into this in a separate video. And on the 7th day it's either the groundhog or the server versus server kill event. So today we are going into the building event and some general stuff about those events. You can check how many points you are getting for what. If you are going to choose, where you can basically choose for Saturday, but you can also take a look at what points you are getting for whatever you want to do. Here you can see it's Monday, so we are getting points for buying diamonds or building stuff. So it's building power, which means there are some buildings that are giving more points than others, obviously. Good example is if you're comparing the queen to the depots. The queen, for the same amount of resources, is getting far more points in the server event because she's raising your power a lot more. So you will most likely experience that yourself. When you're upgrading depots, especially the depots, they're costing a lot of resources, but in the end they are not giving too many points, so it's always a bit disappointing. So yeah, today we are only taking a look at the building. You have lots of stuff here that you can check, like first of all, the most important thing is you are unlocking those trees here. Zone development and zone fight. Very important, stay away from zone fight and put all your creature remains into zone development. It's most likely the most important thing in the game, to put your creature remains into the zone development. You will get more points in the server events and you're unlocking more stuff. For example, if you are having the first two, here you can unlock reward 4 to 6, and those are becoming more and more important and they are giving more and more stuff. If you are continuing, you have extra points. For example, the first one is giving up to 100% more points, so we are not even far in the tree and we already have one research which is basically doubling your points. What will also be very important, like, don't look at the server events itself. For example, we are losing against the other server. Don't look into this kind of stuff. Most important thing is here on the event that you are getting those shells. The more the better. In the beginning it will be very hard, later it will become a lot easier. You can see they are giving diamonds, honey, building stuff. Same here, diamonds, and you can see it's starting to give creature remains. And this will be your main source where you are getting those creature remains. Like, yes, there is also resources, whatever, it's a nice addition, but the most important thing is the creature remains. Yeah, here's an egg and all that, but the creature remains are the most important thing. So, if it's possible, try to reach the maximum amount of shells. Like you saw, we have 3 shells here at the moment. There adding up to 9 shells. And on the bottom you basically see the same thing for the alliance, but it will always stay 3 shells. So if you get all 3, you have the maximum. This basically is what the clan itself was possible to get. On the small eye, again, you can check how much you're getting on the further shells. Like this is, for example, 4 to 6. Let's see, oh, it's already giving 480 creature remains. And if we are going to 6 to 9, the last one, the 9th, for example, is giving 940. So this is super, super important. Another very important thing is that you are playing according to those things here. Like I said in the former videos, the colony action is super important. Here you can check them. Here is building, there is building. So, for example, 2 building events in a row. That means that would be a possibility where you can, for example, use the berries. You probably have seen them in your inventory already. Go to buff, then you see those 2 kind of berries. They are simply increasing your warzone points, like the SVS points that you are getting, by 50% the small one and 100% the bigger one, while a bigger one takes 4 smaller ones to create. You can go to redeem, and then with 4 smaller raspberries you can get 1 big one. So be careful with those. The value of the smaller ones obviously is better, but sometimes it's also better to use the big ones. Good examples are Building Day and Evolution Day. Those are really resource intense days, so it makes a lot more sense to simply wait for 2 overlapping 1-hour events like I showed you before. You can take a look at the calendar. When you are seeing, okay, there are 2 events in a row where I get points for building stuff, then at the end of the first event, like let's say minute 50, like 2 o'clock 50 minutes, then you are using the berry. You have 10 minutes left of the first event of the calendar, so you are able to get stuff there. Then it will go over to the second event, and you also have there 15-20 minutes left to get points there. The berry itself is not counting towards the 1-hour events, but you are going for points in those events anyway. Like, you want to build as much stuff as possible on a Monday. So why not combine it? Combine the 1-hour events with the daily server event. This is where you are optimizing, and it's giving you a lot more resources, diamonds and all this stuff. So it's very important that you are getting an idea of when should I use a berry and when not. Usually on a Monday, only use them if there are 2 building events following into each other. Otherwise you are wasting too many of the raspberries, especially in the beginning. In the beginning it's very hard to get them, so you really have to choose wisely when to use them, otherwise you will not have any on other days. Also, since the server event started now, you really have to play according to those days. As an example, Monday is building day, so on all other days of the week, don't build expensive stuff. It's super important to not build expensive stuff. What you can do is try to build stuff so that it's finishing on a Monday. Let's use the Queen as an example. I have the Queen 19 on this account here. If I would upgrade it, it would take over 4 days. So if I'm starting to build it around 4 days earlier, so that there is like, let's say, 10 hours left or so on a Monday, then you can simply speed up the Queen, and the 4 days before were simply run down normally, so that on the Monday you can push the Queen out and get the maximum points, while you don't have to use too many diamonds or too many speed ups. So it's a bit of a planning that, for example, this takes 4 days. So you are starting the queen 4 days before the building event is starting. Those things are very important, like very, very, very important. If you are able to do it, you will soon see how much faster you are progressing than other players. That's it for the building day. See you on the Tuesday, the gathering day. Bye bye.